Hello everyone, myself Mr. Manoj Patel, Assistant Professor in Civil Engineering Department at Maratha Vidya Prasarak Samajas, Karmavir Advocate Baburao Ganpatrao Thakre, College of Engineering, Nasik. Dear students, today we are going to discuss about methods of sampling, then comparison between graph sampling and composite sampling, then physical, chemical and biological characteristics of sewage, and lastly quality requirement for the disposal and recycle or reuse of sewage as per Central Pollution Control Board norm, that is CPCB norm. See student, today's lecture object means after completion of today's lecture, student, you will be able to explain methods of sampling. Then you will be able to compare graph sampling and composite sampling. Then you will be able to explain the physical, chemical and biological characteristics of sewage, and you will be able to understand the quality requirement for the disposal and recycle or reuse of sewage as per the CPCB norm, that is Central Pollution Control Board norm. See student, whenever some diseases is occur, if you are not feeling well, so at that time what happens? You go towards your doctor. You go into the clinic. So what doctor has been done? He directly gives you medicine, any medicine? No. First of all, he done some test. Okay, like he check your blood or uric acid. Okay, hemoglobin. Okay, and whenever this medical report is come, according to that doctor give treatment, some medicine to you. Okay, and whenever you take this medicine, then you feel good. Okay, see, similar to that, whenever water is get polluted, okay, so we can't give directly any treatment to that water. First of all, we check the characteristics of the wastewater. We check physical, chemical and biological characteristics of the wastewater. And then, according to that characteristics of the wastewater, we give the treatment to that wastewater in the sewage treatment plant. And whenever we give that treatment to the sewage or that wastewater, then that water become polluted free. Okay? So in this way, water is treated. So see, to check the characteristics of the water, so for that purpose, sampling is very important. Okay. So there are various methods of samplings are there, and there are various tests are there. But we are using the standard methods for doing the sampling also and performing the test also. So see, the methods of sampling and test, that physical, chemical and biological test for water and wastewater. So for that purpose, we use this Indian Standard Code 3025/2009, and according to that, we are doing the methods of sampling. So see, what are that methods of samplings are there? See student, there are mainly two methods of samplings are there. First one, graph sampling, and second one is the composite sampling. So what is this graph sampling? See, this graph sampling method consists either a single discrete sample or individual sample collected over a period of time or which is not exceed more than the 15. See here in this picture, okay, see there is one person is there who is collected a sample. So whenever we are collecting the sample at any time, at any place, so that type of sampling is called as the graph sampling. Okay. See, this graph sample, this representative of the wastewater condition at the time of sample collection. Means whenever you are collecting the sample, so at that time, what is the condition of that wastewater? So that sample represents the condition of that wastewater at that time. See student, the sample volume depends on the type and number of analysis is to be performed. Whenever we are taking the sample for the practical purpose, okay, so at that time we are generally collected the 1 liter sample for the analysis purpose. Okay. Now next one is the next method of the sampling is the composite sampling. See students, as the name indicates, composition method. See, in composite sampling, composite samples are collected over a time either by a continuous sampling or by mixing discrete sample. See here in this picture. See 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the lake, and if you want to collect the sample of this lake and if you use this composite sampling method, so what we are doing, we are collecting this sample from this different location. Okay. So whenever we are collecting this sample from different location at different interval of time, say 15 minutes, 30 minutes or 1 hour interval, and then we mix all that sample, and then from that we collect one sample. Okay, we take the sample for analysis purpose. So that type of sampling is called as the composite sampling. Say student, that composite sample represent the average wastewater characteristic during the composition of that period. See, there are various methods for compositing are available, are based on either time or flow proportioning. Okay, and the choice of a flow proportional or time composite sampling, that scheme depends on the permit requirement, variability of the wastewater flow or concentration of the pollutant, and the equipment availability and sampling location. There are on that factor, this choice of this collecting of the sampling is to be depend. So this composite sampling is more reliable, okay, because we are collecting the sample, okay, at different interval of time and from different location, and then we mix that sample, okay, so that sample become uniform and it will give the uniform characteristics of that wastewater. So mostly this composite sampling is to be utilized. See, the comparison between graph sampling and composite sampling. See, first point, in graph sampling, a single sample. In graph sampling, only single sample is to be taken. But in composite sampling, there are multiple samples are collected. And then we mix that sample, and from that sample, from that mixing, we collect the sample. See, the graph sampling is to be done at one time. Okay, means whenever we are collect the sample at any time. Okay, that is nothing but the graph sample. But in composite sampling, there are variation in time. Okay, means at certain interval of time, we collect the sample, and then we mix that. So that variation may be say 30 minutes or 1 hour, like that. At that interval, we collect the sample. See, this graph sampling method is not suitable when there is variation in characteristics of the wastewater. So at that time, that graph sampling method is not suitable, because in that sampling method, we only collect the sample at one time. But this composite sampling method, this is very suitable for the variation in characteristics for the different time and location, because we are in this method, we are collecting the sample at different location at different interval of time. That's why this method is suitable for that. Then this graph sampling method is not, this is less reliable, because we are, whenever there is change, variation in characteristics are there. So at that time, this method is not reliable. But your composite sampling method, this is more reliable, because we are collecting the sample at different location at different interval of time, so that characteristics become uniform. So this method is more reliable. Then graph sampling method, this is less expensive, because we are collecting only sample at one time. But this composite sampling method is more expensive, because in this sampling we are collecting the number of sample at different interval of time. That's why this composite sampling methods become more expensive. Okay. Then the example of the graph sampling. Okay, whenever we are collecting the sewage sample or the wastewater sample from the sewage treatment plant or for the laboratory practical purpose. So that is the example of your graph sampling. The example of the composite sampling, that is whenever we are doing the industrial wastewater characterization, okay, or whenever we are doing the river water, wastewater analysis. So at that time we are using this composite sampling, okay. So this is the comparison between graph sampling and composite sampling. Next is the need of sewage analysis. Why this sewage analysis is important? See student, to design the hydraulic loading rate or to design the organic loading rate, for that purpose the sewage analysis is very, very important. Next, to check the physical, chemical and biological characteristics. So for that purpose sewage analysis is very, very important. Then to check the efficiency of that plant. So for that purpose sewage analysis is very important. Then whatever the wastewater which is to be treated, which is as per the Central Pollution Control Board norms or not, okay, within that follow these standards or not. So to check that, for that purpose sewage analysis is very, very important. Now next point is the physical, chemical and biological characteristics of the sewage. See student, the characteristics of the sewage. This characteristic divided into three parts, that is physical characteristics, chemical characteristics and biological characteristics. In physical characteristics of the sewage, that comes that the example of the physical characteristics are the temperature, color, odor, turbidity, solid. These are the physical characteristics of the sewage or wastewater. Then chemical characteristics of the wastewater. See, these chemical characteristics again divided into three parts, that is organic, inorganic and gaseous. In organic, protein, carbohydrates, fats, oil, grease, phenol, surfactants, pesticides. These are the examples of the organic chemical characteristics. In inorganic chemical characteristics, pH, chloride, alkalinity, nitrogen, sulfur, toxic compound, heavy metal. These are the examples of the inorganic chemical characteristics. And the gases are the oxygen, methane, hydrogen sulfide. These are the gases. Then biological characteristics of the wastewater. See, in biological characteristics, bacteria, viruses, plant, these are the examples of the biological characteristics of the wastewater. So see student, these are the various characteristics of the wastewater. Now next point is the quality requirement for the disposal and recycle or reuse of sewage as per the CPCB norm, that is Central Pollution Control Board norm. So see student, this table shows the effluent discharge standard for the sewage treatment plant. So see here the parameters are given to you, and then in this column the parameters limit means that is standards for new sewage treatment plant design, okay. So that are given here. So first parameter pH. So the effluent discharge standard. So that effluent should have the pH range. It should be in between 6.5 to 9. Then BOD, that is biochemical oxygen demand. It should not be more than 10 milligram per liter. Chemical oxygen demand (COD), it should not be more than 50 milligram per liter. TSS, that is total suspended solid, it should not be more than 20 milligram per liter. Then nitrate, that should not be more than 5 milligram per liter. Then total nitrate, that should not be more than 10 milligram per liter. Then fecal coliform, it should be less than 100 per 100 ml. So these are the effluent discharge standard as per the Central Pollution Control Board norm that we should follow. Next is the tolerance limit for the industrial effluent as per CPCB norm. Means whenever we have to discharge the industrial effluent into the inland surface water and public sewer, so you should follow this norm. Okay, so in that case, your biochemical oxygen demand, it should not be more than 30 milligram per liter. Whenever you have to discharge the industrial effluent into the public sewer, so it should not be more than 500 milligram per liter. Okay, so these are the various parameters and their permissible limits are given here. Okay, so there are total 28 parameters are there. So you should go through it. Okay, these are the tolerance limit for the industrial effluent as per the Central Pollution Control Board norm. Next is the assignment question. Okay, means see student, in today's lecture, okay, you are we discuss about the characterization of the wastewater. So there are some questions are there. this question you have to solve.